Okay, here we are, late Wednesday afternoon, as expected or anticipated. We're switching over from the rain, and now we're getting a light snow, rain-snow mix, lowered clouds in the background. This is the case for Montrose as well, switching over to a light rain-snow mix, kind of a sloppy go as we continue our commute this evening. Again, with the sun going down already, 5:05 is the setting time. You're sharing the road now, drivers, you're sharing the road now for the evening commute with bicyclists and pedestrians who also have to get where they need to go in the dark. So please keep your eyes open. And speaking of keeping your eyes open on the highways and interstates, state highways, flashing lights on the side of the road. It could be a trooper, it could be a first responder, it could be a tow truck driver. You have to slow down and you have to move over. Please do so. The season of the countdown, we're 41 days away from the winter solstice. I threw that in there because obviously today we're getting a mixed bag of winter and fall precipitation. Almost a quarter-inch of rain out at Moab, significantly lower amounts of rain in the buckets around the area, but this helps. With our deficit at Grand Junction, we're about a dime's worth of negative rain. We're still about inch and a half deficit for Montrose. This is it. After tonight, we don't really have great opportunities for storms. We could look at the beginning of next week, and then we could look at the beginning of Thanksgiving week for a couple of weak little systems to pass through, but that's about it. This is the strongest system so far that we see on the immediate radar moving forward for the next couple of weeks. On radar now, well, earlier this afternoon, it was right around the noon hour today that we lost our warm air and we started to get the lowered clouds and the cooler temperatures, and we saw rain showers, light at times across the west end of the Grand Valley. Not much has been happening around the Delta, the Montrose area until now, so we're starting to get into that changeover, that crossover with snow leaving the rain behind or above, I should say, and making its way as light snowflakes. Still snow falling at Glade Park. Last time I saw, there's about 2.5-inch report up in Glade Park. We're going to be looking at some snow totals between 3 and 5, 3 and 6 inches on the Grand Mesa tomorrow morning, so that'll be beneficial for the mountain zones. The exciting thing for me are the temperatures. We're in the 30s. Let's just call it middle 30s right now. Earlier today, like we expected, our warmer temperatures occurred. In fact, we were in the 60-degree category from about 9 a.m. until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. We were mild, and that's when we achieved these warmer than average temperatures. We're supposed to be 10 degrees colder in the middle and lower 50s. So this was all achieved before lunch today, as expected. So were those stronger wind gusts as well. But when you have the wind speed and you have temperatures like we do right now in the mid-30s, we also have a wind chill, so it really feels like upper 20s for many of us. Significantly colder out there with the temperatures colder and the wind speed still kicking around. 10 to 20 miles per hour, that's our current wind speeds right now. Top wind gusts of the day, impressive, near 50 miles per hour in Glenwood Springs, mid-60s around Rifle, mid-50s at Delta, 60 plus at Montrose, almost 50 at Grand Junction. Top wind gusts of the day, 85 miles per hour up at Douglas Pass. Of course, down to our south, Norwood, over to our east. These are mid-60 degree, or I should say 60 mile per hour wind blasts on all points of the compass. So there's really no isolated areas. Still have wind advisories in a few spots, but they've been pulled early for most of us in the populated areas. That means we do expect lighter wind speeds. We still have winter weather advisories. That's going to go through at least noon tomorrow. That was backed up a little bit, but I think after later tonight, and watch when we get this into motion, because all the activity we have right now, that starts to fade off around the 10 o'clock hour, and we're left with very little precipitation available to us, still dealing with cloud coverage during the overnight hours. But again, we'll get some clearing tomorrow afternoon, and we'll get some mostly clear skies throughout the course of the weekend, but we're stuck, folks. We're stuck with colder temperatures. Here's the passage of the frontal system. This is where we got in the midday, and as we get into the evening hours of tomorrow, we're left on the backside of this system and we get those clearer skies. And that also means we are left behind this cold front. Post-frontal, we're left with below average temperatures. A little bit of snow probably hanging into the mountain zones tomorrow, not by much. And once we get into Friday, we really get into a drier pattern. Now, we will look for that next storm system beginning of next week, but it's really not much, and I don't think it's going to improve, or at least the chances of it improving are not all that great. Mid-50s, average afternoon high temperature. Near 30 degrees, average morning low temperature. Neither of those are represented on this extended forecast for Grand Junction, folks. So chilly chilly temperatures. We are going to be looking at 20s to start our mornings off, especially for the weekend. That's where we're really going to feel the chill. Added cloud coverage this weekend from that brief mention of that low pressure system in the Pacific Northwest. That should not amount to much. We are going to be watching it because it's our next opportunity. We're still in this opportunity now. We're still going to be recording very meager amounts of rain and rain snow. So just be careful driving this evening. Once we get past the midnight hour, really, I think we're going to get on the backside of the system and we won't have it to affect us. Outside of the frigid temperatures, look, we're going to be below the average for this entire extended period for all areas of the western slope. So this is the time to break out those sweaters, break out those winter clothes, and give them a good run for the money.